Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the latest episode of Radical Measures podcast. We have a very interesting guest with us today. I present to you an incredibly talented young man, Indrajeet Moray. Please, if you can, Man, at the age of 22, has lived a life that I, as a 33-year-old, am envious of. Okay.
He's probably an 80-year-old in a disguise.
Yes.
Really good.
In fact,
moisturizer.
you can see the way he has approached the 80-year mark already by looking at his choice of attire today. And I must say, he ended up making it look young and hip. All right. This man legit walked in with a t-shirt and a lungi. Right? Can we, if you would like to. Come on, man. Look at him. Look at him flaunt it.
This is the original Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. Come on, man.
No, but dude, like, जैसे summer outfit रहता है ना लोगों का, this is my summer outfit.
This is your summer outfit, right?
This is like fucking comfy.
Comfortable, right? I know. I mean, lungi was that one thing for me as a child that I, wore for the first time when I wanted to feel grown up. Like the first thing you churav from your father's, this is, because I always saw the change. Because my father was a policeman, so he wore uniform generally. और uniform पहन के घर पे आया, and then he removes the uniform and wears the lungi. The mood changes. The man is different now.
It's like he took off a straight jacket.
Yeah, the lungi released him. Like he's like, yeah, okay, chal bata, what do you need? Compass box में क्या है? खाली है तेरा बता. ले पैसा ले, Stedler का pencil ले. With lungi that happened. So I've always seen people generally
But
in
like,
a lungi.
when you wore lungi, वो lungi जैसा ना होके ऐसा bathrobe जैसा कभी लगा क्या फिर?
Yes.
Because in that height.
Yes, because the first time it came up to this where I looked like a Hawaiian woman. Like मेरे को सिर्फ aloha करने का बाकी था. इधर तक आ गया था ऐसा, and I was a bit chubby also, so it looked like I had a decent A cup that I was rocking at the 7th standard.
You were the entertainment for the
Yeah, I had that chubby baby fat. This is also going to be the vibe of the conversation, and that was why I was very excited about. Because one thing that I really enjoy when I'm speaking to you, Indrajeet, is there are very few 22-year-olds who have traveled so much, who have seen so many different cultures, and the
none
way
of it has got to do with an education.
Yes,
it is never loan लेके गया.
हाँ, it is never a picnic कि अरे college भेजा ये लोग को इधर temple जाके photo selfie लेके नहीं. You have shown legit interest, and there is a way you're trying to understand the world you're living in, and that is reflected through your illustrations as well. If you haven't checked out his Instagram handle, please do. You have a separate Instagram handle for your work, right? For your illustrations.
Yeah. So it's Bougie Baba. BOUJEEBAPA.
Yep, wordplay. Alright, Bougie Baba, please follow him. He puts out his work on sale from time to time.
Yeah.
Do buy it. Very interesting fellow. You will see reflections of Mario Miranda, a couple of other people that we'll talk about later. But nonetheless, you put a lot of impetus into understanding it. And that is why whenever I have conversations with you, I know they can go into dark places and it'll be fine. Where I will try out something and I'll hear this laughter, which is wonderful. All right. So, Indrajeet, welcome, man. So excited to have you here.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
I would want to start off with how I got introduced to you. All right. I know you through Bhadipa, and I know you through your show, which was based around traveling. A budget travel show that you did, 3 days in 3,000 rupees. And you ended up going to a lot of different parts of the country. Okay. So firstly, I want to know what would be the instances that stood out to you the most. Because of course, traveling opened your eyes to cultural nuances, a lot of different things, but like instances which made you feel like, अरे मैं actually बाहर आया है, और scene तो कुछ भी, like for example, you went to Tadoba.
Yeah.
You went to Tadoba Tiger Sanctuary. So you were mentioning something just before we started rolling. So would you like to share that anecdote, please?
Is that where you want to start from?
Yeah. Exactly. We are talking about, starting with a tiger sanctuary.
So no, so like we recently visited Tadoba for a shoot, and the video is already on the internet. It's on Vatupa. Go watch it.
Yeah, you will see the recommendations come out on the screen. All right.
So it was a fun trip. We were very lucky. We spotted like a tiger and a leopard अच्छे से आराम से बहुत सही से. And like
You got time to look at both the big cats.
both and like minimum safaris that you have to do is like 4 to 6 safaris. That's minimum you have to
Okay.
like do in order to explore that place. But
So it's not like a one-day thing.
nah.
Nah. It's a big place.
So we there for like 3
Tigers
days.
are disappearing.
But we only had like 2 safaris. Like budget कैसे 2 ही सफारी लिया था. लेकिन 2 सफारी में क्या दिखने वाला है?
Correct.
ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 2 लंगूर, एक हिरन और एक ऐसा कुछ तो
Basic, yeah.
बेसिक
Menu
कौवा
card है
देख
तेरे
के आ जाएगा.
कौवा देख के डिसअपॉइंट होएगा ना कि अरे सफारी में आके कौवा दिख रहा
और
है.
ये सब लाइक मच्छर सब तो वाइल्ड मच्छर है तो वो वॉशरूम में भी दिख जाते हैं तो उधर
It doesn't make a
कोई-
difference. Insects I'm not here
कुछ
for.
नहीं. हाँ, तो ऐसा बेसिक था कि दो सफारी में क्या है. बट 2 सफारी, फर्स्ट सफारी वाज टू सी लेपर्ड, सेकंड सफारी टाइगर, आराम से अच्छे से.
Oh, so
मुहूर्त क्या निकाला था वो बता. क्योंकि नेक्स्ट अपने को जाएगा उधर.
कि leopard तुम लोग देखा, you got a chance to look at it, like was it hunting or resting?
No. So he is like very skeptical to cross the road. So like we let all the gypsies pass. He's just staying there looking. He जाएगा और then like he passed आराम से like cross the road.
Okay. So he was just the leopard was wary of all of the cars. कि अरे इतना सारा jeep वगैरह public. Yeah. It would be.
कितना बड़ा ग्रुप होता है ये.
It was like 5-6 jeeps like at a time when the door opens like 10 to 15 jeeps go inside.
Like a Jurassic Park feeling or
Exact Jurassic Park feeling.
exact Jurassic Park feeling. There's gates opening.
There's also one point where there's like all grassland.
Okay.
And you're driving through the grassland.
Oh.
And there's one slight chance that it would rain and like a few flying dinosaurs would come at your way.
Lightning
shit out
strikes
of
are
you.
like
Khatam.
And then you look around for Chris Pratt. He will, but you were telling, so you spotted the leopard, you spotted the tiger.
Yeah. And there was this point where, as I mentioned, हम लोग का जो guide था, तो
Yeah.
like these guys are local people, so we
Okay.
we're very sure, like वो जो बोलेगा वो सच है भाई, तू बोल
They live inside?
Yeah, they live inside the forest. They live in like उनका गांव forest में ही है.
So there are tribal people who
Tribal
have been
local
living
people.
there.
Yeah. This guy is sharing about it. There's a tigress in front of us, and he's like,
You're in the jeep.
हाँ, we are in the jeep, and like interesting fact सांगू का तुम्हाला. Like यार interesting बता ना fact.
और tigress सामने है तुम लोग, ऐसा नहीं मतलब, so you're talking like slowly whispering.
हाँ,
Okay.
बता ना interesting fact. Tiger बोला कि वाघ जेव्हा पण माणसाला मारते तेव्हा तो सगळ्यात पहिले सामान खाते. he said this. Like क्या?
So translation is
The translation basically is that whenever a tiger attacks and kills you,
it goes for your jewels.
Yes.
So सबसे पहले गोटे गुल करता है.
हाँ.
So we were like, what? Why? Firstly, how? I had too many questions.
Yeah.
What? ऐसा करके मैं उसको पूछा था कि हाँ हमारे गांव में जिसको उठाया ना वो सबसे पहले सामान गायब किया. Like you, bro, how and why?
Oh.
And when you found him, how do you know that was the first place he attacked? Like when you find the body or whatever.
I don't know, maybe like the most damaged part.
Or maybe
Yeah.
like some guy survived and we like be careful. That information is passed down.
You just
Like वो बंदे का क्या रहेगा ना? Like dude, we have this guy survived a tiger attack.
Yeah.
I did so. लेकिन गोटे नहीं है.
it would feel you are feeling most manly and least at the same time.
Yeah. And that's where he uses the Wagnak. He just puts it on there. He took something from me, I have taken something from him.
Dude, that is the most vulnerable part of you, na?
Yeah.
And all it would need is like a nail, like just to be like kata soup. That is it. It's like
That is compared to Jambul and what.
it's like a fork on a sausage roll.
Yeah.
You know, it has no chance of survival, dude. What are you trying? And it is actually legit true because you, I think, die due to, it's the most vulnerable part of you also. And I think most of the times I've read it in a article somewhere about RA more than any other place where, and villages also, in certain places where you have this animal attack thing happening. It's sometimes in the mornings when you've gone out to take a shit and it's like 4:35 in the morning because village life, na, you're starting early and whatnot. So you go out on the outskirts and you get attacked. And I was like, damn, dude, that does sound like, yeah, that would be the best time for to attack a human being. Like you have crouched down and you're shitting.
He's in maintenance mode at that time and you just attack.
God.
Nice protein breakfast for the tiger.
Oh God, it would just be like, I would legit like, I would have the fastest shit ever. I think it would be like a Formula One pit stop, dude. I would be running.
When you see it, the first thing that will happen is you'll shit.
Yeah, you
your
will
pants
shit
anyway.
out of fright. And I don't
Maybe
know.
that can be the reason they would go to shit.
It is apparently a physical reaction, biological reaction. When you're afraid, you are shitting your pants because you want to be lighter to run away. So all animals do that. Whenever you see National Geographic,
This reminds me of...
this is legit.
This is so out there. It doesn't seem real, dude.
No, I'm telling you, like I at least that or my sources are horrible.
Dude, I think someone tweeted this.
No, because whenever you see an attack video on National Geographic order, just pay attention. You never pay attention to the ass because you're paying attention to the neck. Like,
because you're looking for expressions. You think drama is over there.
Drama idhar hai na ki गर्दन पकड़ा तेरे को डर दिखता है ना शक्ल पे वगैरह. It is, we don't pay, but when you look now, when they are running and whatnot, when the pan shot is there, you will see the animal which is being chased is actually shitting. The moment it starts running, it is also shitting, because it wants to be like, you know, full digestion वगैरह कुछ नहीं bro, सिर्फ भागने का है.
I still can't believe
It's so weird. तो वो अलादीन देखा क्या उसमें का scene है ना, with this zip lining and he's just at a center. What do I have to do? Like you take off your like weight. तो वैसा कुछ निकालता है, सब bricks वगैरह उठाल के फेंकता है कि अब तो कुछ नहीं मेरे पास, लोग अरे आग दे.
Oh really?
Yeah, you haven't seen Aladdin?
No, the new one.
Sacha Baron Cohen, the old one.
Yeah, I have. The old one I have.
The cartoon.
No, Aladdin, Sacha Baron Cohen, the...
Oh, the dictator. Okay. मैं Aladdin सोच, I'm imagining
dictator.
Robin Williams का बोला hug करके.
मैं भी सोच रहा है विल स्मिथ बोला कार्टून में कभी हकता है रे, जिप लाइन, वीडियो गेम, क्या बात कर रहा है ये. But yeah, you were speaking about the dictator. Yeah, when he's going from the, of course.
Dude, that guy has the greatest travel show, by the way.
Who?
Sacha Baron Cohen.
What?
No, it's a mockumentary
Through his
type
movies
of,
and whatnot, he ends up.
Yeah.
So you ended up traveling Tadoba Tiger Sanctuary. That is, of course, like a fight or flight scene that happened when the fellow told you. It is also a piece of information that you can do nothing about, because even if it eats your junk first, you're going to die. You are going to die.
No,
I am a holder of very unnecessary information. क्या करूँ?
It is just almost, I can imagine you in Dombivli local going towards the office and just randomly telling it, pata hai kya?
There's a guy is like dozing off to sleep and he's like, मेरे को उठा देना please. तेरे को एक fact बता दो, नींद ही नहीं आएगा.
But that is also a very interesting part of your job, right? That is what makes it interesting. Because nobody else, this is a day at your job. That you are in a tiger sanctuary, you are documenting facts, you are not only that, you are giving like a thumbs up for a local tourist nice place, you know, because tigers need all the help they can get apparently, you know, the way they are at the moment. So it's a legit good choice to use your time well. You know what I mean? It's because at 22, other people are busy pursuing their degrees and certificates and, you know, some sort of chancellor, vice chancellor. मेरे को बोला first class है मैं.
Fest के लिए sponsor लेके आ रहा है. That is what 22-year-olds.
Yeah. I'm going to the local vada pav stall and telling, sir, be a part of our festival. It's a good thing. So this is, of course, one facet of what you like to do. You know, traveling to places and documenting. I am a big fan of anybody who's able to draw. Because I'm terrible at it. I have never been comfortable with pencils. I don't know why. Whenever I have tried to sketch, it just doesn't make sense. But I've seen a lot of your work. And I wanted to ask you, were you always like, what was the first art influence that you remember from your childhood where you went, oh, like, did anything like?
So yeah, I used to draw since I was like 2 to 3 years old, because my father is an artist. Like, he's a cartoonist. He's very good.
Okay.
He makes amazing art. And like there was like very easy, like also like this is a part of like privilege, that there was like easy access to art supplies. People knew what
Father is an artist,
Aha.
so there's a lot of influence in the house.
Exactly. So that was there, and like I used to mainly draw like what I used to see. Like for me, like it was like cartoons, like Tom and Jerry, or maybe it was like Spider-Man was the first movie I've ever seen, and I'd seen, like, luckily I'd seen a play first and then a movie. So I knew that there's someone behind the stage. So like after watching Spider-Man, I was like, yeah, I want to meet Spider-Man and like tell him it's a good movie behind the stage.
Like
Yeah.
it's a play. You thought
Exactly.
it's a play.
Yeah, I thought it's a play. And then when I came out, like at least for 2 years, I kept drawing Spider-Man. Just Spider-Man.
Okay. Damn. This was the first like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Hana? The Purana wala, when you were a kid. Oh damn, no, play. Yeah. I mean, you would think that as a child, I can see that jump in logic happen.
This is like one of those childhood things also ना कि टीवी पे अगर मूवी चल रहा है, you're thinking कि गोविंदा और करिश्मा कपूर एक्चुअली किधर तो नाच रहे हैं.
हाँ.
और जब ब्रेक आता है तो like they get a chance to कि okay सांस पकड़ लो.
इतना कपड़ा वगैरह चेंज किया किधर से.
Oh, I used to actually think like there must be some director going कि यार सैटरडे का एक शो है, टेलीवाइज हो रहा है. Like this movie is getting televised. Govinda ji, please come.
That might have been the explanation given to children also in some houses, because I remember as a child complaining about advertisements, because they felt like a interruption. ये क्यों मेरे को टूथपेस्ट 4 बार दिखा रहा है, क्या है, मेरे को कार्टून चालू करके दे. So that time chances are somebody's parents would have gone,
थक गए हो,
थक गया रहेगा रे, 10 मिनट से नाच रहा है, रुक ना.
इतना ये लड़की रो रही थी अभी पिछले सीन में, she used to wipe her face and
yeah. So you drew Spider-Man a lot at the beginning.
That actually reminds me, I think you come from a very arty family. Your dad is an artist and your mom
yeah,
is
my
a
mom is
dancer
a
as
Kathak
well.
dancer.
Yes.
So she teaches Kathak.
You had no chance.
Choice, yeah.
You had no chance.
The
So I
rebelling
think,
would
like,
have been CA.
All of this wouldn't have been if I wouldn't have been this privileged, because like
I think more than privilege, I would just say it's your circumstance which is unique.
yeah, exactly.
Because I don't think there were a lot of privileges per se. You know, privilege is thrown around very
easily.
guiltily and easily nowadays. You know, there's a difference, dude, between
And
that.
like even when you're surrounded by colors, you could just be like, I don't give a fuck, and go on ahead. You just
so
picked up
that is one thing. So there was this atmosphere,
Hmm.
but also there's this one thing I can learn: like 3 artists can't live under a same roof.
Please elaborate.
No,
There's
so
too much talent under this roof.
so my house, right? Oh fuck, this is getting too personal. Okay, so my house is like it is like it is a very weird combination of structure and chaos.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's a chaos driven artist and there's a structure driven artist.
अच्छा.
और मेरे घर में दोनों है.
Oh, okay.
Who? You want to guess who's who?
I think the mom is the structure-driven artist.
You
Exactly.
think? Oh, yeah. Even I
Because
was going to
Kathak
guess.
is just discipline,
So
dude.
she needs structure in everything. Like even with her like art, she's very very असंच पाहिजे हे असंच असतं आणि like all of that, like you see like stuff in like classical scenario ना कि ऐसे ये गुरु है.
Expressions are specific.
Yeah, and like you have to like do this and like tell you वो बहुत ऐसा बीच में ये रहता है ना, formality रहता है. Like she's from that school of thought.
Okay.
It's
And your
it's
dad
like,
is a cartoonist.
Yeah.
Free form.
He's basically raising the finger to authority. Like that's the cartoonist.
Pencil.
Yeah, pencil.
So there's this like very weird amalgamation where you also like feel that कि अरे ये क्या चल रहा है, and you also feel कि अरे ये सही तो चल रहा है.
So you're in a car which has got like 2 round wheels, 2 square wheels.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And no matter how liberal an artist is, कि यार I want to be open for all the form. Fundamentally, he is very rigid to his craft.
Correct.
He's extremely rigid कि मेरे को सब encompass करना, लेकिन मेरे को ऐसा ही करना है. इसके अलावा मेरे को जानने का नहीं.
Yes.
तो वो rigidity ना अंदर का, the nucleus of this whole inclusivity, वो अंदर का rigidity ना वो जाता नहीं. लेकिन कोई भी artist रहने दे.
Yeah. Because you need something to hold on to, na.
Yeah, absolutely.
So whenever you commit to any art form, like for us it is stand-up and writing. For you it is illustrations, writing. You know, you're a director also. You feel like you're in a very strong current of water. और तेरे को just swimming सीखा है ऐसा feeling आ रहा है.
हाँ.
You know, and so you have to keep on paddling and you have to. मगर तेरे को जो हिसाब से करने का वही जो पहुंच गया वो भी बोल रहे नहीं ऐसा पैडल कर नहीं मैं वैसा नहीं मेरे को क्योंकि मेरे को लग रहा है अंदर से लग रहा है कि यही करना चाहिए तो मैं ऐसा ही पैडल मारेगा एंड यू नीड दैट ग्रेविटी थोड़ा
because the thing about openness is the counter to that is that okay openness कुछ भी हो सकता है अच्छा भी आ सकता है बुरा भी आ सकता है and it's going to affect you that way so like you just be like let me just find one thing that only I give a fuck about no one else gives a fuck about and I'll stick to that and look anal while giving a fuck about it
because you feel like अभी बाकी सब में से तू ये चूज किया है तो ये तो ठीक ठाक करे भाई ना कि इसमें भी अगर गापचीगिरी किया तो फिर क्या फायदा so your dad had that कि when it comes to art and how he wants to approach and express himself there he is rigid
yeah like all of us like we are very rigid to like towards our like artistic choices
correct
so I think that is one thing but it's also fun because like you know you rarely get to have a conversation ki I mean I don't know what do I do of this information but 3 तालात 3 तालात 16 मात्रा असतात 4 तालात 16 मात्रा अशी एक this one thing like this is शास्त्रीय thing
okay
So I have no idea कि मैं इसका क्या करूँ लेकिन मेरे को पता है.
You have just heard this information has been floating around.
Photoshop पे तू वेक्टर इमेजेस नहीं बना सकता. मैं क्या करूँ लेकिन मेरे को पता है.
पीछे ताल में ये ऐसा रहता है.
अभी उधर हम डोंबिवली में सावित्रीबाई फुले रंग मंदिर का भाड़ा 28,000 है. मेरे को पता है. क्या करूँ?
Yes, a lot of information that is very art related has been. All of the conversations that you have at home will be so different compared to the conversations that generally.
No, but like to be very honest, the depth of conversation I have at home is nothing. Because all I speak is about भाजी तिखट झालेली यार की अरे नाही उद्या नक्की कपाट लावतो किंवा याच गोष्टी असतात युजली
बिकॉज यू हॅव दॅट thing where you draw a line also na कि नहीं इससे ज़्यादा बात नहीं करने का
I think the conversation in art always moves towards a feedback session neither of the artists can basically what you need is an audience
you always need an audience
roommates is what we would suggest yes PG का board लगा इंद्रजीत के घर के बाहर and just saying all we need is audience all right
we need that person to be very open though
But that's good. So you ended up drawing at a young age. Illustrations, though, are a very specific sort of medium of art. Like when you look at visual art expression, the biggest mediums are movies, videos, you know, stuff that you shoot. Then, of course, you have painting, you have oil canvases, massive landscapes. Tera jo classic rehta hai wo. And then you're looking at illustrations, and illustrations I feel like there are two different sorts. Like there's really artistic illustrations where they are representing an age-old tribal art maybe, you know, where they might be representation of Warli painting on something else. But then you have illustrations which are comic strips, you know, which are so close to what I feel stand-up is. In that art ka hierarchy
exactly
you know what I mean because comic strips have always been like hey you know, it's always newspaper mein chhap ke de like it's always been like 3-4 frames but they have been so enjoyable
exactly
that the moment they came out they became a mass medium where अरे newspaper में छाप public वही पन्ना खोलता है people become fans of Marmaduke, Herbert, Tinkle का Supandi आता था.
Shikari Shambhu.
हाँ, Shikari Shambhu. Then when you are looking at Times of India, you have R.K. Lakshman, his work. So it became so famous that you have reprints happen. But when it comes to art, it's not considered to be the highest pedigree of. So how did you, what was the reason behind you choosing something similar to what we chose, you know, in terms of it being thought to be, ठीक है, तू sketch pen वाला बंदा है रे.
I don't know. So I was very bad at studies. मेरे को ना
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the shout out to all the people who have flunked. It's okay.
And so I was slow with writing.
Okay.
Like very slow. So whatever teacher used to write on board, तो वो खत्म होने के बाद फिर भी मेरा पूरा नहीं होता था.
Oh, so the sentence तू लिख रहा है
और वो चला गया. तो what do I do? So I go to the back page and I draw something.
Oh wow, that is a nice solution to the problem. I can't keep up with the sentence. I will create my own shape and forget sentence.
It's not related to what she's writing. I say doodling. So basically, that is art. Art starts when a man gives up.
Yeah, exactly.
Extremely bad at studies. वगैरह.
Okay.
So and also there was one point where I couldn't draw what I see, but there was also like there was imperfection, and there was like a fondness towards imperfection because like I don't know why, but
no, go ahead. There's a fondness to imperfection in the sense it did not stand out to you in a negative manner.
हाँ, तर ते एक interesting होतं. I mean, I didn't give this much of thought to it because like who gives a thought to it? Like, when you just have to do something that you really love, then you don't even have to explain it to yourself also.
Correct. Yeah, it's almost like it moves. Like,
exactly.
Correct.
So I think that is how I started drawing. But like there was one core element that I recently feel that I'm very interested and very keen towards storytelling.
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter what way it is told. It is told in form of book, or is it a comic, or is it a film, or maybe is it like a little article, or is it like a photograph?
Okay.
So like the skill differs, but like the
medium,
core
the scale,
or a stand-up in fact.
Okay.
Because like however, like all of these are like very expressive mediums. Like
correct.
So like it's very crucial to have the source of these expressions, like the fundamentals at a point.
Correct.
तो वो तेरा sorted है तो तू कुछ भी कर सकता है.
Yeah. Like in jokes, for example, we have one-liners. You have the standard premise, punchline.
Exactly.
You have storytelling where you have a story, but then you layer it with a lot of. There are different skills utilized for every different genre of a joke, and just like that, when it comes to sketching and telling a story through it. Also, the scale differs.
Exactly.
Where you are looking at storytelling, where I know you have shared this with me, and I wouldn't want to break it out. I would just like to say that he is working on something, a project, right? You're working on a project which will be an amalgamation of a couple of skills of yours. And I'm really excited for him to share that with you, okay? You will have to look forward to that in the future. But storytelling is what you're looking forward to do now, or was that what pushed you into illustrations?
No, I think I'm looking for it right now.
Okay.
Because like in whatever I do, I find like even if the entire process is chaos, but like the end result is at a point of a structure. Like there would be not even a structure, but like there will be like a similar pattern if I'm doing a video or if I'm clicking a photo, if I'm writing something.
Yeah.
So I just maybe want to like underline the pattern or maybe like वैसा कुछ.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense, but like.
No, I'm understanding it. Like you are able to expand your horizon in terms of how you can experiment with expressing yourself.
Probably.
A lot.
Too much English, but yeah.
I tried.
No, basically I think like he's trying to make a composition.
Correct.
कि अगर तू illustration भी बना रहा है या photo खींच रहा है जो भी है, how do these things come together and make something bigger which is ये सब से भी बड़ा कुछ बना, some greater than the sum of the parts.
इतना मतलब ऐसा idealistic कुछ नहीं है, but it's just like to explore these facets of creativity. It's just that.
Yeah, I see that in your work too. Just the diversity of what things you spread into.
And I think it's also due to like I have a very low attention span, and I if I had to fight a lot for something, then I usually give up. That's like a very basic tendency I have. Like, okay. Then I'll like just completely distract and do something else. So I rather like choose to be like edit at a point till I'm like, यार मेरे को नहीं edit करने का है. So when I go back to editing, I go back from a place where I've like sketched a lot or read something nice.
He's using different mediums as a palette cleanser.
So
You know, like how,
bro, why are you getting so elite?
no, it is legit that.
Yeah.
It is that. कि तू खाना खाने को जाता है तो भी कैसा in between courses sometimes you end up having a bit of ginger or whatever to clean the air so that when you go back to that job again, it doesn't feel boring. It doesn't feel lethargic.
Exactly.
It's
Because
a
like,
fresh slate.
I can't imagine myself completely sitting at a place and making art, or I can't imagine myself always being on the run, like shooting something, being always on the set, producing, or always in the studio.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine it like doing just that.
Yeah. It's a very scary thought. Na?
Yeah, it is a very scary
And that is where वो clarity आना चाहिए ना public को. We get it with time only. And another reason why at a very young age you experienced all of this, so you have this clarity. कि we think there is a particular template to go about things, no? कि अरे बोला गया है कि एक ही चीज पे ऐसा बैठ के continuously यही करेगा तो yes, but there has to be a balance.
और लाइक ये करने में बहुत बार ऐसा फट्टी भी है, क्योंकि बिकॉज राइट नाउ मेरा सीन क्या हुआ कि आई स्टार्टेड डूइंग दिस सिंस वेरी यंग एज व्हेन आई हैड माय पियर्स गो टू जस्ट कॉलेज. और मैं उधर की आज सॉरी यार मैं ऑफिस से अभी लेट आया.
वर्किंग मैन. वर्किंग मैन फ्लेक्स.
एंड नाउ आई एम थिंकिंग अबाउट कि यार फॉन्ट कौन सा अच्छा लगेगा इसमें, या फिर यू नो इधर ये कैरेक्टर अच्छा नहीं जा रहा है. And then, or like I'm just like having a day off. I'm sitting with my friends for a beer and like they're getting like jobs and like I'm like bro तू place हो गया. अरे नहीं मैं अभी उधर MIT में जा रहा है and like I'm doing this like fuck ऐसा हो रहा है मेरे को.
Yeah, it plays with your anxiety, no?
Yeah, it does play with your anxiety because like you definitely like the rush of uncertainty and the freedom, of course. But there's always like a very human, vulnerable side of you trying to like find structure in that also. It's very fun to experience this.
It is fun to experience that, and it also is a very normal thing to happen. Because it's the you win some, you lose some scenario.
Absolutely.
Na? Because for them, the moment where you were, you know, a college में काम करने वाला बंदा जो edit पे बैठ रहा है, shoot पे जा रहा है, you're preparing for something. That time they looked at your life and thought, oh man, it's an exciting life. Indrajeet is moving, he's going around visiting places. That time they felt like they are missing out. Like they are like, oh, what are we doing? And now what they did then is paying off now for them.
Exactly.
In that, but the goals are different, na?
Very different.
मगर वो uncertainty से अरे हम लोग के साथ भी होता है अभी भी. Dude, at 33, 34 sometimes
But
you have that conversation.
I mean, I don't know, but I kind of believe that at a point you have to make peace with that uncertainty. Because if you choose to be an artist, then it is bound to be with you.
It is not a constant. It comes maybe when on an off day or something, it comes back. Maybe when you have just updated your passbook and you're like, oh.
When you start interacting with real world things.
Yeah, exactly. Like for example, मैं लाइफ में कभी CV या फिर LinkedIn पे नहीं गया था. तो मैं
people talk about LinkedIn.
ये साल में first time I went on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And it इतना anxiety trigger किया उसने मेरा कि ये क्या space से दुनिया चल रहा है और मैं क्या कर रहा है. And it is like two different style of operating. मतलब तो मेरे को देखा नहीं. And like you ask me for my CV. Sure, this is my CV. But like I mean, this is such a mechanical space of hiring something.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, like...
It's not only that, I'll tell you, it is created and made in a manner which is... So, anything... I've started realizing this with the internet, specifically. On the internet, any particular place is created with a very specific purpose. And to fulfill that purpose, a lot of things are manipulated.
Yeah.
Like for example, when you look at a normal printed out CV and compare it to a CV on LinkedIn, the difference is vast because normally CV pe you try to keep it basic. You know, I remember there was a time when people used to be like, 2 page se zyada kuch bhej mat. You know, don't make it, nobody will read it utna वगैरह, you know, print out इतना ले मत. And I used to feel very कि अरे मैं certification ये सब किया, अरे ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं तुम लोग? But it was just not needed. And then when you go on LinkedIn, they have made it in such a manner that you are just able to layer it with a lot of information, which sounds like it is exhaustive.
Exactly, it's
but
very exhausting.
and it makes you feel the person who's hiring, you're looking for somebody like, अरे he's done a lot in his life, रे. मतलब my God, apart from everything, kayaking as a hobby, you know, on top of all of that, adventure sports, like I feel you create the version you want to be of yourself on CV. You know, that is what a CV is. कि मेरा इतना सब है, मेरा music में भी है.
It's turned into social media cum slam book.
Yes, that is what LinkedIn is.
But I'm just wondering, so you went on LinkedIn and you were applying for some...
I wasn't applying for anything. I was just looking for like ऐसा क्या क्या हो सकता है as a freelance करके.
Okay.
So and a lot of my friends were in LinkedIn. And like this was the first time I was having a conversation with friends कि तू LinkedIn पे क्या कर रहा है? Because कुछ स्कोप ही नहीं था. I passed out as if like in a philosophy degree. तो philosophy का बंदा LinkedIn पे क्या ही करेगा?
सब motivational quotes तो MBA लोग ने ले लिया already.
तो वो उधर चिपका रहे, संदीप महेश्वरी जोन एकदम उधर चल रहा है. I had all my friends from theatre background. What would they simply do on LinkedIn?
It's very weird.
मतलब क्या ढूंढेगा? लाइटमैन मेरे को LinkedIn पे क्या कैसा हायर करेगा?
Exactly, correct.
तो कुछ स्कोप ही नहीं था. And then I'm having a set of words which are very foreign to me. And I'm like, is this how
like
मतलब like you know like let's get एकदम ऐसा corporate words मतलब ऐसा you know like I'll get back to you और वो zone मतलब
the lingo
synergy,
the lingo like
let's connect, let's touch
exactly,
base.
Exactly. So like you can't connect with that and like the whole process is so fucking mechanical. तो फिर बहुत ऐसा लगता है कि इसमें वो
इंसानियत नहीं है.
क्या बता मतलब ये मेरे अंदर का थोड़ा वाने भी हिप्पी टाइप बोल रहा है कोई तो.
No, I can completely relate to that क्योंकि whenever you are putting together a creative project or something, कुछ भी ऐसा मेरा sketch वगैरह बनाने का है या ये podcast बनाने का है, मिल के बैठ के vibe check is very important ना. Like तो अभी तेरे को सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर चाहिए, वाइब चेक का जरूरत. वाइब चेक कोई सोचता नहीं, इनफैक्ट वाइब चेक जरूरी है बिकॉज ही इज गोइंग टू बी देयर इन द रूम. वो थोड़ा ऐसा सैड बंदा रहेगा वगैरह तो कोड नहीं निकाल पाएगा. बट लाइक दे डोंट केयर अबाउट वाइब चेक जितना अपन लोग ये करते हैं.
तो वो वाइब चेक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट लगता है मेरे को बिकॉज if you are choosing to be in this field, it's definitely important. Like comfort is very important because at the most vulnerable you can express the best of yourself. So
but you shouldn't feel vulnerable.
He's talking about feeling safe.
I know. It's that difference between the two. That's
exactly.
the vibe,
you know,
which is important. Because otherwise, when you know people are not comfortable, there is this tension in the air. You feel it. You know, at parties when you go and you feel a bit out of place, where you are like, हाँ चल मैं मिल रहा तो है, दोस्त का पार्टी है और जा रहा है तू कभी या फिर ये और ये लोग को तो मिला ही नहीं है कभी, या फिर स्कूल का पार्टी दोस्त लोग को मिल रहा है बहुत साल बाद. You know, there's this weird familiarity but distance कि I'll have to put up something now. You know what I mean? I'll have to behave like I'll have to follow a path of अच्छा तो तेरा कैसा चल रहा है, अच्छा चल रहा है, अरे वाह मस्त. That is not.
You have to take a social KYC.
social KYC.
कि अच्छा ठीक है पहले नाम बताइए बता. I need to decide whether I should respect you or feel superior to you
or not.
That is also there.
Very true, man.
So I'm wondering about this. अभी तेरा इतना experience रहा है now. You spoke about going to these different places and whatnot, and you talked about trying to find structure while creating. So was the traveling, whenever I saw your videos of traveling to different places, it will always have like one section where you're creating art and all. So was that traveling sort of like disconnecting from what is your everyday and all? Was that a means to bring that structure? कि मैं बाकी सब चीज़ निकालेगा तो मैं सिर्फ स्ट्रक्चर पे फोकस करेगा and like I'll be able to sit down and make something.
So you're telling would it lead to better creation?
Like or just bringing down that thing कि उसको जो chaos कम करना है creation के टाइम पे.
I think maybe because I mean, like, I honestly didn't give this much of thought to it. Like,
हाँ
most of it was out of a place ki this is very interesting.
हाँ
Want to do this.
हाँ
Also, I think when you're in a new place, you feel inspired also
Yeah,
to
exactly.
work. It's not just the location, what is around you.
Yeah. It's just like तेरा पूरा modus operandi बदल जाता है ना.
हाँ
So I think it does help. Definitely, it did help me.
Varanasi was one such place that you had been to, and you created a lot of illustrations out of that visit.
Yeah. So yeah, I was in, but that's because also I was there in for like 30 days. I was in Varanasi. 30 days I was only in Varanasi.
When was that?
It was in 2018.
2018, right? So how you were like 18?
Yeah, I was 18.
You were
I was
18,
I
right?
was 18.
At 18 years of age for a month in Varanasi. How was that? Like, what was that experience like, man? Like, you must have come back a very different person. 30 days in Varanasi. It's a...
Dude, Varanasi is amazing. So I think Varanasi is also like it's like a very beautiful combination of chaos. It's mad. It's the city's balls.
It's ancient meets modern in few places. Wire, telephone, वगैरह ये सब. But then you have temples, you have structures which are very old.
So there's very less proximity between calmness and chaos.
Okay.
तो तू एक रोड क्रॉस किया, एक बैलगाड़ी तेरे को धक्का मार के जा रही है और सीधा तू पिछले रोड पे आया, there are 3 sadhus chilling with you. So I think Varanasi is like how you take it. If you're at peace with yourself, it is very peaceful. Or maybe if you're already in chaos, you would be the chaos of the city. I think
it offers you both the options.
Exactly. And in polar sides, like extreme polar sides. But it was both for me. I mean, like I was like the mornings and the evening used to be the most calm.
Okay.
And like the early evening used to be the most maddening places.
Everything is just buzzing with activity.
Around. So I think it's a good it's a good trip.
30
but
days.
ऐसा कुछ ऐसा उधर से मैं ऐसा जागरूक हो क्या है?
No, of course. I'm not suggesting that at all. That is not what I meant. I did not mean you suddenly achieved enlightenment and came back.
Like you came back walking barefoot.
No, that is not the. But 30 days in a place which is so drastically different for somebody who's born and brought up, lived in a city, is going to be a assault on your senses.
Yeah,
I can
very
imagine.
Much, man.
I think I heard this on a different podcast that you were on. Tera story of starting travel was only like a happy accident type, no? Kuch to aisa hai na? Like when you started this. Can you tell us that story?
So basically, I think, as I remember, there was like me and a friend. I had barely turned 18. So मैं और वो हम लोग दोनों मिलके किधर तो जाने वाले थे. I think that was like a very first travel thing that I'd done. तो हम लोग we booked a property. It's a very good hostel करके जगह है. So we booked hostel and मैंने मेरा बुकिंग किया, उसका बुकिंग किया, तो उसका बुकिंग कैंसिल हो गया. क्यों? अरे वो 17 साल का है, तू आजा. लेकिन अरे मैं अकेला क्या करेगा? वो ड्रॉप डाउन हो गया, वो नहीं आ पाया. लेकिन चल जाके देखते. So I went and it was a good trip. It was at Gokarna. But before that also, like before that I'd gone for a trek and इधर लोनावला में. And then my like the train that I had to catch to come to Mumbai, it got missed. So I went to Pune instead. तो ऐसा लगा पुणे आए तो और थोड़ा जाके वाई जाता है. अरे इधर वाई है तो और थोड़ा जाके पांचगनी जाता है. So I was at पांचगनी for like a day. And तब realize हो कि यार नहीं पैसा खत्म हो रहा है तो चलो मिल जाओ.
Even returning there was some.
No. Returning was just like again why Pune.
अच्छा same thing you came.
हाँ same ये था.
So in all these trips that you take to किधर तो जाता है and you say ना कि budget 3 दिन वगैरह रहेगा. I've seen you always interact with the locals and all over there.
I think that's the best part, man. Like, I mean you.
And there's a dependence also on locals in many ways.
Yeah, it is at a lot of places.
So has there been any point where like of course there is always that random thing कि हाँ हम लोग पहाड़ पे गए मैगी खाया वगैरह and all. But like has there been any place where a local has just surprised you like that गोटी वाला story that you just said? Has there ever been a point in these travels and all where like oh shit, I thought like this was the end, ये trip का end हो गया किधर तो I don't know where I'm going to come out and like a local came like a Superman and saved you.
Dude, a lot of times actually. बहुत बार. I mean अभी तो मतलब याद नहीं आ रहा है लेकिन ऐसा बहुत बार हुआ. Like it's always like the local people and even like उधर का जो कोर है ना मतलब ऐसा if you are going to go गोवा तो छोड़ अभी क्या ही if you are going to any place and like you're like going around like a tourist then you'll get something but it's different but that's not what I want. I mean I'm absolutely okay traveling locally, I'm absolutely okay eating local food, I'm absolutely okay just like walking all around, so I'm absolutely okay with that. So it doesn't really matter if I'm staying in a very posh place or not, because I live in city, like at least a suburb, but I have basic amenities. I've grown up in that. अगर मैं comfort zone के बाहर जा रहा हूँ और फिर भी मैं वो सब लेके जा रहा हूँ तो फायदा ही क्या है?
Correct. Then I'm not really
I mean, although I do sound very deep right now, but
No,
ये बहुत like basic thought लग रहा है मेरे को.
It makes sense completely because you're traveling to a different place to experience the place also, ना? मतलब अभी वाराणसी जाके चाट नहीं खाएगा और मैकडोनल्ड्स ढूंढेगा तो क्या तू मतलब तेरे को क्या कौन सा गाली दूं?
मतलब मैं ये भी किया है bro. So I and my ex we had gone to Goa for a festival, like a art festival, and she was vegetarian. So I was in Goa. If she's seeing this episode, she's gonna abuse me like because she has her arguments that you know तेरे को fish थाली का जगह बहुत दूर था इसलिए तू गया नहीं. But फिर भी I survived Goa in 4 days for only eating Subway.
Oh God. That is
oh my God, what a horrible thing. I'm sorry this happened to you, man. It's a tragedy.
Please suggest veg places in Goa so that another young man does not suffer.
No, there's a veg place in Goa. There's a veg place in Panjim called Gujju Khanavar. So you like Gujarati food over there, and like all thali you get. I've found that.
The things you have to do
For
and
love.
sacrifice. Yes. बाप रे गोवा में रह के सबवे खाया तू राजा. ठीक है ना, but I think through your job you more than made up for it.
Yeah, man.
Because
I
I've
have
seen,
amazing job. I'm very grateful.
because I've seen you've eaten some very interesting things also. Yeah, especially when you have traveled to the northeast.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, first of all, a place that I want to go. I haven't been for a very long time. It has been on my
radar.
Yeah, कि उधर जाने का. In fact, my mom also, she's very. It's the place she speaks about Assam and Meghalaya and whatnot as it's the place she wants to go. You know, before like ये तो देखने का है करके. And you have been there and you've tried out the cuisine. You've shared it on your Insta. I remember messaging you also at that point of time. What was the first thing that you've come across which was very interesting, food-wise, but very different? And you were like, silkworms.
I was in Nagaland, in Kohima, and udhar har banda silkworm kha raha hai. So also it was like it breaks the
local or
no, I'm not even being this white. It breaks this क्या बोलते हैं उसको
Stereotype.
नहीं तेरे दिमाग में वो जो सा टैबू रहता है ये कैसा खाएगा कि हर बंदा वो खा रहा है तो वो निकल जाता है मतलब हर बंदा अगर मास्क पहन रहा है तो मैं पहनेगा तो ऐसा
it makes me feel like it's not crazy.
Exactly.
So that's the gateway to all
gateway
cuisine.
तो मैं अगर मेरे मम्मी और मौसी लोग के साथ जाता तो तब तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं तब तो हम लोग को नागालैंड में भी पूरन पूरी खाने को मिलता.
But silkworm सब लोग खा रहा है तो why not?
क्यों ना हाँ तो
let's see.
वो उनसे थोड़ा वो ease out हो जाता है.
But what was the preparation like and like?
No, nothing much. They were just like salt, like they were like salt and spice थोड़ा लगाया उस पे. And they were like fried in olive oil. Not olive oil. वो क्या?
It's a different.
Groundnut oil type.
No, the banga.
Oh, राई का तेल.
राई का तेल.
हाँ, okay.
Mustard oil.
So it had like a it had like a texture of the inside texture was like a French fries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it tasted like a little bit of prawns, but like very salty.
Oh.
And the outer thing was like a marshmallow covering, but not sweet in texture wise.
Oh my
Damn.
God.
So there's French fry and shrimp and marshmallow. all three things sound so like and then
entree आता है ना ये Wolfgang Puck का बड़ा 5-star रेस्टोरेंट का entree
छोटा सा
वो ऐसे खा
No,
Something like that.
but it's such a great mixture of things to use to explain a silkworm. You know? but I can imagine it being like that. The way you said it, हाँ marshmallow का covering sweet नहीं, inside थोड़ा French fries. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. And food का अपना relation भी थोड़ा अजीब रहता है ना. Born and brought up in the city, our relationship with food is very different, compared to like when you travel outside, you see local dependence on इधर क्या उगता है, क्या मिलता है, तो उसके हिसाब से खाना बनता है. सिटी में क्या है, if you have money you can eat from wherever. तो sushi भी खा सकता है, पाव भाजी भी खा सकता है, whatever you want you can eat, but that is where your body gets screwed up, because geographically what you're eating is not matching with where you're living, because you're just over सब कुछ. डोनट भी चाहिए, ये भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए. It's all like that. And then when you travel, you go out and you see, oh, their idea of sustenance is very different. Like I have read about tribal people in the northeast who still hunt. Like villagers, they legit go on a hunt and they hunt wild boar. वो पुराना मस्केट गन ऐसा बड़ा वाला लेके जाता है, and they shoot a boar and then the whole village celebrates. Yeah, non-veg. They get happy. And there is a pratha there also कि the head and one leg will go to the chief. Then the other leg will go to the fellow who shot it. And then बाकी सब लोग में बटता है. And I was like, damn, that is fair. That sounds fair कि अरे जो गोली मारा उसको एक तंगड़ी तो मिलना चाहिए.
तो बेसिक लेवल पे, गांव का लेवल पे भी टैक्स सिस्टम है.
हाँ है.
There is GST there also.
हाँ, मगर थोड़ा लॉजिकल GST है ना. ऐसा नहीं. But you know what I mean, right? It makes sense at least. The fellow who shot it deserves it. I mean, otherwise he will shoot you, dude. Imagine if I have shot a deer.
No, talking about headman.
No, yeah, headman तो of course he's the chief. It is because of whom you all are living together normally. You know, but when it comes to the fellow who shot it, it would be very irritating if, because a hunt is a very difficult prospect. कि बैठा रहने का, आवाज नहीं करने का, आएगा सामने तभी बराबर एम लेके उसको लगना चाहिए, नहीं तो किधर और लगा तो भाग जाएगा. और वो यही नहीं भागेगा, सब लोग भागेगा. You know, इधर वाला उधर वाला सब भागेगा. So you have to like do that, and then you get the animal to the village. You know, you are like just given it to हाँ करो, काटे को चालू करो वगैरह. मैं हाथ धो के आता मैं
और खत्म.
आया तब इधर अरे I will be very pissed. I'll start shooting. It will be a massacre.
Just holding the musket. नीचे रख.
और एक bite नहीं. That is how my reaction will be.
Tail come down.
Yeah, at gunpoint you're making them cook it.
नहीं वो bamboo shoot मत डालो.
मेरे को नहीं अच्छा लगता. Assam is a place where is there a place on your wish list as such, you know, in our country that you wish to go, that you haven't been to yet, something that you're looking forward to? Because you've been to a lot of places.
I don't have like a wish list ऐसा कुछ की. Because
that's a very tourist thing to do also.
And it also at a point, you know, there have been trips to like amazing places, very shitty trips, and there have been trips to the most uncertain place, and it has been like very good.
The most amazing. The other way around.
So the quality of any travel is very irrespective of the place, at least for me.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. I get what you're saying. I get it. So it's not like I'm looking forward to the beach. Yeah, ऐसा नहीं है तेरा. You're like it's a bit more, you know, that is where the अपना introverted ये भी थोड़ा बहुत आता है. कि हाँ उधर जाके भी हाँ थोड़ा बहुत वगैरह ठीक है. ज्यादा घुलने मिलने का नहीं होएगा.
क्योंकि introvert and you.
अरे ये बहुत ही मतलब. I can't survive in a group of more than 5 people. It is so exhaustive.
Yeah.
And I have a few friends who are equivalent to a group of 5 people.
The one
Energy
person individually is.
वो बंदे का अकेले का एनर्जी ऐसा तू 12 इंट्रोवर्ट में उस बंदे को डाला तो वो बंदे में ऐसा 12 लोगों का एनर्जी रहेगा एक ग्रुप को सस्टेन करने. इतना एनर्जी रहता है. तो वो एक पॉइंट पे तू बंदा मस्त है लेकिन ऐसा भी
लेकिन हैंडल नहीं होता है.
हैंडल नहीं होता. मतलब वो वाइब ऐसे तेरे पास आ रहा है बहुत सारा एनर्जी तो so and it's exactly with like big amount of people. I shut myself off when there are more than 5 people, 10 people, 20
Was
people.
that like a childhood thing or did you realize it at some point at some trip or something?
I think I realized it at some point.
हाँ.
क्योंकि हर कोई बोल रहा है यार, और वो ग्रुप में सबसे ज्यादा बोलने वाला बंदा रहता है तो उसके एनर्जी के ऊपर जाके तेरे को एक्सप्रेस होना पड़ता है.
Oh yeah.
तो इतना कौन करेगा?
हाँ.
Yeah.
Communicate कैसे करूँ मैं इसके साथ?
तो मैं, और इतना बताने के लिए है भी नहीं कुछ मेरे पास, तो मैं ऑडियंस बनेगा. So I become the audience.
हाँ. And then you have to just decide कि हाँ वो बोल रहा है लेफ्ट तो
हाँ,
लेफ्ट,
left
तो
तो left.
एक्सप्लोरेशन गए तेल लेने.
तेल लेने. But if it's about like conversing in like 2 people, 3 people, or like there's like a one-on-one conversation, I absolutely love. In that space, I'm very talkative.
It's like what George Carlin had said. He's a well-known comedian. He had this saying ki I don't like people in crowds, but I don't mind them talking to them one-on-one.
Same, exactly.
Because one-on-one they are more honest. They are more.
They're individuals.
They are individuals. They are not carrying baggage of identity of मेरे को ऐसा भी मेरे को वैसा भी कुछ नहीं. They are just trying to be themselves.
Exactly.
Group dynamic is very dangerous, dude. Public साथ में मिल जाता है तो it's like couple of steps away from a riot. Couple of steps away from a riot. That is what it is.
I have it. I mean, like, there's a point where I see, I really want to like socialize and like chill with my friends. And there's like also like substantial time when I just want to like stay by myself right now and like do my stuff at my pace. Aisa.
That's good.
Are there places that you associate with? Okay, you're roaming around everywhere. Are there places, maybe even within the city or outside the city, where you just go to reboot, like reset मारने के लिए वगैरह?
Oh, so I was in the notice period of my work, and I had made sure that I was working in that space for like more than 3 years, and it was exactly next to a beach, very beautiful beach. और हम लोग rarely जाते थे क्योंकि वो ऐसे थे कि अरे बाजू में तो है क्या है,
हाँ तो value नहीं है.
ऐसा जाने से ऐसा कुछ ये नहीं था. But then for like that month I've like made sure like maximum time I catch the sunset. Just chill over there, and I've like there was one spot where I had like 4 cats playing around, so like I used to like spot the cat, spot the sunset, like some like that tanga wala, and then go home. It used to be like so fun. That is one place. And then there's also Blue Tokai in Warsaw. That is a place where I enjoy the most. And then
But like outside kidhar aisa where you go to relax?
No, I'm not rich enough to do that.
So like everything, whenever you travel, it has to be content. वो वाला scene हो गया क्या?
ऐसा तो नहीं है.
No, I don't think so. It's not. It's basically a purpose. There's some purpose to it. He doesn't travel just to relax. He travels to discover. I think that's the big difference.
Honestly, like to be very honest, I mean, if ऐसा भी नहीं होता कि I want to travel to like seek myself or ऐसा discover चाहिए. ऐसा like it's not even like a conscious thought, honestly.
It's not. It's like instinctively like this is what you feel like doing.
It's like a it's a collaborative thought of I want to seek something. I want different people, different food, different scenes. I want good stories from Instagram. I want to like be in a different temperature. All of like a collective
all
stuff.
of that put together.
I also want to meet a random girl and like have a like a travel romance which we would tell our grandkids. I also want to meet someone who's extremely rich and offers me like a job.
Just
like,
while
like oh my god, you travel, have the job. ऐसा सब collective romanticism, rational thoughts and necessities से बनता है वो urge to travel. वो जो wanderlust का
it is that. It comes with all of those things. Like my personal life plus this plus that, all of that comes together.
So I'm so sure ऐसा कोई भी बंदा नहीं क्यों बोलता कि मेरे को soul searching के लिए travel करना है.
I think it's marketed like that more than anything else.
And like travel is like I hate how it has become a commodity.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I sound very left right now.
No, go ahead.
No, don't. Here we don't see left, right, forward, आगे, नीचे, कुछ नहीं.
I mean, like,
Go for it.
It is like such a bullshit romanticism that we are fed from Bollywood.
Yeah.
Or like.
Yeah, go ahead. Like, what do you
it's
mean?
Extremely like travel is something which is very extremely romanticized. Like aisa, if you're on a solo trip, it's so romanticized that you put it on such a pedestal ki
Yeah.
"Hey, yaar, tu
So
solo
many
trip-
things will happen.
so many things to see. Like he's evolved. I
Yeah.
belong here.
Yeah.
ऐसा होता है, but all of these experiences are so scattered in the trip, and most of the trip is just like मेरे को आज टट्टी नहीं हुआ है यार,
Yeah.
and कि मेरा नींद नहीं हुआ है यार आज तो एसिडिटी है और पेट भर गई, ये कैसे खाएगा.
You realize your body does not like the different.
हाँ ये तो यार अभी तो पैसा ही खत्म हो गया है. All of that, ये इस पे खर्चा कर सकता है मैं. All of it is also mix of all of this.
And that is never shown.
That is never shown.
Yeah, that's not shown in that car ride of ZNMD.
There's no like typical arc to the revelation in a travel. Like you randomly have it. You randomly have realizations.
And I think that's the best part of traveling, because it is the best place where you can experience randomness. So I think that is why I crave travel, because I'm a fan of randomness.
Yeah.
I do love random things put together. I think that's what
It's
art
fun.
is at a point, because you put like it's like a permutation combination of random elements. और ये ऐसा दिखने में अच्छा दिख रहा है, सुनने में अच्छा दिख रहा है, या फिर ऐसा सेंसरी अच्छा लग रहा है. I think that's what art is, right? So
Yeah.
I think the more randomness you have in our life, the more
different it is, the more out of the ordinary it is.
I think it's the randomness that is
Yeah.
I really
It's
crave.
so
Yeah.
random कि pattern दिखने लगा. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah, because sometimes you hear a joke and you just don't understand why you're laughing. It
Yeah.
just sounds nice, dude. I don't know,
Yeah.
it makes me laugh.
And there's like also like I've been at a very like I don't want to sound this adult. I'm not even.
अरे
that
बोल
guy.
ना तू, देखते ना.
Why are you
नहीं,
thinking about that also, buddy?
I mean, fuck, मैं भूल गया बेंचोद.
Like, you're so worried about me
See,
coming across as
exactly.
something.
नहीं रुक ना, याद आएगा.
हाँ आएगा ना. अपन जाते ना पीछे.
हाँ.
अपन एज का इसका पहले you are talking about कि I don't want to sound as a travel.
So, at some places, I take some things that should not be taken seriously. I take them seriously, and vice versa. So I completely mix the balance of what should be taken seriously and what should be thought upon.
For example.
A lot of things, like I take a lot of like I mean like अभी मेरे अभी इतना याद नहीं, लेकिन there's some part like we over intellectualize,
Yeah.
which is like you can take it like you don't have to take it seriously all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm just like breaking myself down about like not to over intellectualize thing
Yeah.
कि वो एक चीज है. Like this is like travel is one of it, because it's so simple and it's like I mean
You can get lost in it if you start creating things in it, like you know, in
Exactly.
your thoughts. If it has to mean something more, if I'll find something else, if I'll understand
and
something about
I'm
myself.
I overthink a lot, and I'm like मेरे पास एक चीज है ना, तो I'll make sure कि उसको options है, इसको मेरे को options चाहिए, so that I could choose. अभी
Okay.
option है तो फटी है, क्योंकि अभी इतना options है भाई, choose क्या करेगा.
Okay.
तो ये dilemma होता है, and like in that dilemma you have to figure out what you want, how you want. So there is also one point where like you want to just like submit to the process and go with the flow, and like that's when the randomness happens, and like you get just अरे यही तो था.
So is it like कि जब तू travel कर रहा है, you don't get an option of overthinking, क्योंकि you always have that one thing towards which you are moving.
Sometimes I do overthink.
Like आज
when-
itinerary है इधर जाने का, so it's like वैसा. So it sort of breaks away from that वैसा बोल रहा है.
we are literally like breaking down the why of travel.
हाँ, like
इतना existential I've never been. No, this is actually helping for that thing I'm writing.
Because when you think about it, traveling was always like that. No? When you thought, I come across some historical mentions in books and whatnot, and travel has always been the biggest part of people just moving, like you know, we were nomads for the longest amount of time, dude.
Exactly.
Public सिर्फ सब ये उठा के चलो जा रहा है किधर, तो रहता नहीं था एक जगह पे. In fact, when the continent started breaking apart also, you could see just herds of animals moving from place to place. Movement is a constant that has always happened. So we just look at it differently. अपना सिर्फ ये हो जाता है कि in a city we get used to point A to point B travel.
Exactly.
Which then we conflate to चाहिए नहीं bro. मैं किधर और जाके और किधर नहीं घूमेगा, रूम में रहेगा मैं, मेरे को और किधर नहीं घूमने का है. That is what ends up happening. But traveling is fun, dude. I mean, there is a reason why people create hollowed out trunks and then put them in water and just चल देखते हैं पहुंचेंगे कि नहीं देखते हैं. It was some like a hope, na, a desire to find something new and nice. I think the revelation part of it is exciting. That whenever you
I think it's the bonus of. I think it's the bonus. It's not the actual salary. It's the bonus.
हाँ, it's the bonus. Yeah. It is the extra part. कि अरे वाह तेरे को extra मिला.
Extra मिला.
That is true. When it comes to you know, we have this segment called recommendations, all right, where our guests, they sometimes recommend books that they have liked, or maybe work that they have seen, or something that they have recently come across and gotten inspired with. If there are some illustrators that you would like to recommend to our viewers, some work that you have seen and you are like, you know what, if you check out you know, illustration Mario Miranda dekha to uska works, you know, check it out, buy if you want to.
About so I'm not that well read.
Okay. But some illustrators that you enjoyed.
Oh yeah, I absolutely enjoy Mario Miranda.
Huh?
I absolutely enjoy a set of Mad comics like this to come before.
Yeah.
Oh,
So Mad comics ka sab work. What else? I absolutely enjoy Andy Warhol. There's that. Ravi Verma, of course.
Yeah.
But like I can't make that art like nowhere near. And that's not my zone. But I enjoy it as an audience.
He came at a very interesting time, no? Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
When you had
He was
Coca-Cola.
exactly at the transition of painting and photography and print.
He was at the transition part of
transition
it.
part
Correct.
of it.
he
Correct.
also
Correct.
was a guy who dabbled in many things.
Yeah.
हर एक चीज किया था.
हर एक चीज किया. तो even like ये लोग Andy Warhol हो गया, or maybe like if it's John Lennon, or like अपनी industry में like there are a lot of people who are like switching between their crafts. So as an audience, I would really love to like know from their point of view. And like the thing with why I find it very exhausting to keep up with social media, it is due to the factor of relatability. Like social media पे जो भी content जाता है, like the key thing it works, it is अरे तो relatable है. But there is also a part where I know I relate to this, but this is not what I want to say.
अच्छा,
Or maybe this is I can't relate to this, although it is very very mass. But I've never been here.
Oh.
Yeah, this is not my experience.
This
I've
is not
never
my experience.
felt.
So there's also distance with the whole relatability factor. And how do I do it? वो भी एक doubt रहता है.
Yeah.
So
Because that word is very vague, Ray, the relatable. You never know what works in certain places. You actually have to go with the idea of, oh, okay, this is relatable for a different reason compared to the...
exactly. So I think that is something. I don't know what is the point. I digressed a lot.
Then you're talking about Andy Warhol and
हाँ.
people switching their craft.
So I think that it's
recommendations
fun to,
में तू बोला था Warhol और ये.
Warhol है. Or in filmmakers, I'll definitely recommend. Like I don't even have to recommend. He's very well known, Wes Anderson.
हाँ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his films.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which one's your favorite?
Moonrise Kingdom.
Acha, Moonrise.
Which is yours?
Mine is Grand Budapest.
अरे वो तो सही है.
Like it's just choreography, camera moving and all that.
I like Moonrise Kingdom for all the aspects it had, right from production design, right from the dialogues, and right from the story. Like I love the I would have never seen a 12-year-old running away, like putting up a tent and like fighting for the love of his life. A 12-year-old who is an orphan.
Yeah.
वो बंदा इतना गट्सी है और वो कर रहा है. And there's another girl who is highly privileged and she's still also like चल करते कर like तो वो story कितना fascinating है.
Yeah, he creates very nice worlds.
Very nice.
And
there's this
Visually shows them
amazing shot. So there's uska like Wes Anderson has one other film, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Have you watched it?
Yeah.
No.
Out in the entire film, there's one shot I had watched like repetitively. There's one place where this guy is riding a motorcycle. There are two. There's his sidekick sitting, and it's at the end like he's running away from the bogus buns and
Yeah.
he's running away from people. He's done something amazing. He's done something ballsy, and he's like proud of himself. And he's like he saved his family, and he's running, भगा रहा है वो मोटरसाइकिल, और उसका बंदा बोलता है कि कुछ भी कर बस पीछे मत देख, और वो पीछे देखता है कच करके, and then he sees like there's a mountain which is clad with snow, so that it implies that the winter is like approaching.
Yeah.
And then there's a black wolf standing over there. And in the entire film, every time someone mentions wolf, this fox get, oh my god,
Scared.
oh, wolf
Yeah.
किधर है? And I'm like, वो हर time बोलता है कि I have a phobia of wolves, और वो time उसको wolf दिखता है, और बोलता है कि where are you from? So वो बोलता है whoopus, which is his scientific name, and उसको उसका scientific name बताता है, और बोलता है कि I don't think he understands. तो उसको फ्रेंच में बात करके बताता है, I don't think he understands either. So then he does this, and उधर वो बंदा भी ऐसा करता है. So बोलता है कि I have a phobia of wolf. Just wanted to say that. What a magnificent animal. And he like just sheds a tears, and then he rides off again. I mean, there was कुछ ज़रूरत ही नहीं था वो डालने का, लेकिन that thing stayed with me, man. क्या लिया है वो?
Yeah, he does something similar in that Isle of Dogs movie also.
I haven't watched. I yet to watch.
Give it this. That's another movie where it's just moving parts. Like just the way he frames stuff is just amazing. He does a similar thing where like 4 dogs come together and they have like a box of some sort, and they are about to fight, and one of the dogs just says, "Should we just check out what's in the box if it's worth fighting for?"
Yeah.
And then they check it like, "Okay, that's good," and then he lists it out. वो Wes Anderson का एक listing वाला चीज रहता है.
हाँ.
क्यों like ये है वो है like
ऐसा कुछ.
beat, and then he's just like, "Okay, I think we can fight about it." खत्म.
बहुत ही peculiar है वो storytelling.
One of his first movies that I had enjoyed, and I think that is our recommendation for this episode, as if he needs our recommendation.
Yeah.
But if you still haven't, or if you've
Bottle
thought
Rocket,
ki,
right? Bottle Rocket.
nahi, they're all Tenenbaums.
Oh, okay. I
It's
don't know.
an old movie of his, but it's one of his first works which had everybody. And I was very young when I had seen it. It was Star Movies ka time, when I used to watch cable TV and whatnot, and it was so differently told as a story, where you had the father who was broken up, the wife is with another guy, a black man. Gene Hackman is there, Owen Wilson, a couple of people are there.
Yeah, Owen Wilson, even his brother Luke Wilson is there.
हाँ, Luke Wilson is there. बहुत लोग हैं, and it's based on this family called the Tenenbaums. And you should definitely watch it if you haven't.
For sure, man.
It's a fun thing, and I know exactly what you mean. It's a very different way of telling a story. You have details which are of no consequence, you think, but the way they are told makes a big difference. It makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah.
I like the quirk of his filmmaking. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
the quirk that I, as a creator, also want to put into my work and like go for it. Like for example, like Andy Warhol or maybe Wes Anderson, even Taika Waititi.
हाँ, अरे वो तो बंदा
भाई
किल कर रहा है
क्या
बाबा.
सही है यार.
भाई साहब डायरेक्ट भी अच्छा करता है,
Acting भी
act
अच्छा
करता है,
and
producer
he
भी
very
अच्छा
well
है.
knows what he wants when
Yeah.
he acts also. Like you know.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he wants. I think he did the voiceover for one of the characters in Thor.
Yeah.
He has also acted in different things that he has done. He has this great show in which Bill Burr, Bobby Lee, a couple of people are there. Reservation Dogs, which is on Hotstar. It's a show based on the Native American reservation lands. वो लोग का teenager लोग का life के ऊपर. Very interesting.
So yeah, I think it's the quirk that attracts me for like.
For sure.
As a creator yourself, you are looking for कि अरे these are the perfect, like ये बंदा अलग कुछ तो किया और मस्त किया है. जो भी कर रहा है must follow, इससे सीखने का है मेरे को कुछ तो.
Even Guy Ritchie does that, but he does that in a more darker, grittier
Guy
way.
Ritchie is he is there, but he's become more stylistic
over
a
the years.
big eyes
Agreed.
over the years. But yeah, his Snatch and whatnot, Purana movies were great. I spent a lot of time watching movies when I was a child. I spent like ridiculous amount. Same
Yeah.
HBO Star movies. You ever had that time where you looked in the newspaper for the timings
Yeah, we
of?
should
Oh
do that.
my God! I had to. I never knew that clock existed. You know, I always used to look at the clock and be like, हाँ चल इतना बजे और फिर उसमें पेपर में तो 2100 ऐसा आता था ना time. So it was a military clock and then you had to ask 2100 क्या time है dude ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा. Then people do 9 o'clock. That is what it means. You know. They're like, oh, okay. I used to watch a lot of movies because of that. And now, of course, it's boring. I don't even have cable TV. But
what is your primary source of entertainment? Do you watch like long format, short format? What is the most that you consume?
At the moment, it's I don't mind watching long format like movies and whatnot. I don't mind at all. But it has changed over time a lot. Like I spent a lot of my teenage years and childhood years reading a lot.
Oh wow.
And watching a lot of movies, but I did nothing else. I did literally like that was my reaction to college. Everything like, I was like I don't want to. I don't care. मजा ही नहीं आ रहा है dude बाकी इसमें क्या करेगा. मतलब मैं फाउंटेन हेड वगैरह देखा है मूवी नॉवेल भी पढ़ा है. ये भी ऐसा मूवी है.
पता ही नहीं था.
Yeah, so the movie also exists and I've just checked out a lot of different stuff and because of that I had seen Royal Tenenbaums and whatnot. Now my primary source of entertainment is if I come across like a very different show, I'll watch it. Because I have seen this about myself. It's mostly OTT platforms और बहुत मतलब मेरे को already मालूम है क्या होने वाला है. What I've seen the storyline before many times. I'm not that interested. You know, but if you have something different, like I came across this anime which I found very interesting and I saw that anime only because it was one season. क्योंकि नहीं तो
नहीं होता है.
एनिमे का ग्रेविटी अलग ही है ब्रो.
सासबो सीरियल है वो.
हाँ मतलब 700-800 एपिसोड कौन देगा ब्रो. And at 33 I have very less time left. You know, I don't have this much time to spend on 800 episodes. तो मैं one season देखा and the name was very interesting. When I died and got reincarnated as a slime. And it was it's just a Japanese, in Japan, there is this thing where there are knife attacks, where there are some people who break in their head because of repression, loneliness, whatever, mental illness, you don't know. But there have been instances where people have gone out and stabbed strangers on the train and whatnot, you know, because they've just gone psycho. They've gone mad. They're like, insan, you know, and like that. So in this story, all right, the guy dies like that. And while thinking and stuff like that, he's reincarnated in a fantasy place. You know,
उसका RPG बन जाता है basically.
Yeah, and exactly, उसका RPG बन जाता है. But when he's dying, like he saves a friend of his, you know, who's about to get stabbed by this madman. And while dying, he looks at his prodigy, the fellow who works with him and whatnot, and tells him, just delete my hard drive. And he dies. And then while thinking, you see he's reincarnated in a fantasy world as a slime. He's just a ball of slime. That is it. But then he has different powers and how it's a very different story. It's very vivid, very vivid imagination, very out there, in the realm of fantasy. So very excited when I read it. So I was like, oh, let me see what's happening here. Otherwise, it's more the same thing, dude. Like they remake, या फिर reiteration, या फिर Star Wars. अरे कभी खत्म हो रहा है ये वॉर. 2 वर्ल्ड वॉर खत्म हो गए क्या तुम्हारे स्टार वॉर खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा है क्या. नॉनसेंस है.
By the way, तू Love Death Robots देखा क्या?
क्या?
Oh, you've not heard of Love Death and Robots?
Oh no, it is in my list.
Yeah.
It should be. It should be on your Netflix watch list. It's also a pretty amazing show. It's a collection of different cartoon styles. Storytelling in different cartoon styles. And every episode is its own story. And there's different scales. Like 2-3 minute का episode भी है, 16 minute का भी है.
क्या बात है.
So it is full.
Some are okay. Some are honestly all right.
This is my opinion about movie. Are you on movie?
No,
heard
but
of
I've
it,
seen a lot of movies जो already उस पे
So
आता है.
movies is like a good collection of amazing films,
Yeah.
but it's like 8 out of 10 films will be like, क्या
You find out overrated more.
Yeah.
मतलब
बहुत इंटेलिजेंस है मतलब
बहुत indulgent.
ऐसा जूम इन देयर अ फ्लाई ऑन अ वॉल 20 मिनट हो गया क्लोजर जूम इन अरे और 20 मिनट हो गया आवाज में अरे
like
क्या है ये
ऐसा भी होता है, but then you also find amazing work because it like literally questions your belief कि ब्रो तू फिल्म ऐसा देखा ना, अभी ये देख क्या है.
हाँ
क्यों ये क्यों किया तूने, कर तो सकता है तू. ऐसा ऐसा कन्वर्सेशन होता है.
yeah how did he do that, how did he manage to why did he show it like that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed those moments. Movie has that.
Yeah.
Movie does that to you. Like different Korean films did that to me. First couple of Korean movies I watched, I was like, "Arre re baba, ye log to." A friend of mine who was studying films had suggested Old Boy. कि Old Boy देख करके. मैं देख के ऐसा मतलब क्या
How, it's so odd that they are the
कैसा
reason for
story?
K-pop, K-drama
हाँ?
and old boy.
हाँ मतलब क्या रेंज है वो लोग का देखना है यार.
स्पेक्ट्रम है ना.
Yeah,
हाँ.
they're ready to do like just like fire वो सब भी करेगा and then
Just mindfuck वाला.
Parasite
ले.
कि इसमें क्लास ड्रामा हायरार्की सब कमेंट्री सब कुछ.
Oh shit. वो एक और कुछ कोरियन मूवी था called 101 Levels या कुछ तो ऐसा है. I'm blanking on the name now, but basically it's another Squid Game type thing where every prisoner just wakes up on one floor of a jail.
Yeah.
और ऊपर से एक प्लेटफॉर्म आता है जिस
अरे
पे
it's
खाना है.
platform only.
प्लेटफॉर्म ओनली. ओके प्लेटफॉर्म.
उसमें से एक प्लेटफॉर्म आता है जिस पे खाना है.
हाँ, and it will go from top to down और हर फ्लोर पे 2 मिनट रुकता है वो. और 2 मिनट में जो जितना खाना लेने का ले
Fuck
सकता
with
है.
your brain, man.
Yeah.
Have you also film platform?
It is similar to it's not similar in that sense, but there's a movie called Snowpiercer,
Oh,
which
okay.
is also
Train
like
pe
that.
na?
Yeah, train which has to keep on moving continuously because if it stops, the engine dies and whatnot. And the last remaining people are on that like train. और उसमें वो class system जैसा किया है, where first class there is food and this and whatnot. और फिर then when you go to the poorer carriages, मतलब गर्मी भी नहीं है, हीटर भी नहीं है, फुल ठंडी है, पब्लिक को खाने को नहीं है कुछ. इट्स द लेजिट लाइक टेकिंग तेरा इकोनॉमिक सोशल हायरार्की एंड टर्निंग इट इनटू अ ट्रेन राइड.
Damn.
तो ऐसा फ्लिप देखने को नया लगता है कि अरे बंदा स्टोरी टेलिंग में हाउ डिड ही create that metaphor and then showed it because he made it interesting. Otherwise it would just be the same. हाँ गरीबी होता है, पब्लिक के पास खाना पीना नहीं हो, मगर ट्रेन में जा रहे क्या बात कर रहा है अभी मतलब क्या पैंट्री नहीं है, क्या बात कर रहा है तू इधर.
You wanna see real India, poor India?
That is what it is, man. But Indrajeet, anything else you want to plug before we wrap it up? This has been a fun conversation,
Thanks,
buddy.
man. It has been funny. I'm very conscious when it comes to like talking in front of camera.
Yeah.
With people around.
Yeah?
Like, I mean, I was asking you like, what is the topic and all.
That's fine. Dude. A couple of guests have asked us that, and we always tell chill, buddy. Our listeners are also all completely chill. We are also fine with it. We always want. We know the person is interesting, तो conversation हो जाएगा. कोई scene नहीं है. But do follow Indrajeet on Instagram. You will see his Instagram handle here. It's called My Blue Backpack.
Yep.
And you also should follow his Instagram illustrations wala account, which is called
Bougie Baba.
Bougie Baba, which you will again see here.
I still don't know why I named it Bougie Baba.
It's fine. It's
Doesn't
your
make
thing to
any
name.
sense.
Don't
It's
worry,
your
the
thing to
following
name.
will figure out a theory.
Yeah.
उनका आ जाएगा.
Definitely. And if you've liked this conversation, if you've liked the stuff that we've been putting out, then please do hit the subscribe button, follow us, and take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.